Yeah.
I gotta get one.
Well, somebody has.
Well, we gotta see if it's working. Oh, it is. It's recording.
I gotta Google ancient.
You want me to stop it and restart?
After a long day at work, 24-year-old Tammy Silverman was very excited to be getting off to go and have dinner with her friends at the restaurant. As soon as she got there, she greeted them at the host stand, and the host graciously took them to their table. While they were walking to their table, Tammy and her friends noticed that every table between the host stand and their table was on the phone, whether it be couples, teammates, coworkers, young families. Everybody at least had one phone out, and they were checking messages, or tweeting, or text messaging. As soon as they got to the table, Tammy and her friends decided to turn off their phones and put them face down on the table. The rule was, first person to check their phone had to pay for the entire bill. Tammy and her friends are just a few of the Americans that have noticed today's etiquette in cell phone use and the lack thereof. In January 2007, in the National Journal of Consumer Studies, it states that 57% of restaurant goers are annoyed with other customers using cell phones. Today, we will explore the lack of cellular etiquette and different ways to be more courteous on phone users. First, we'll examine some of the habits that we created. Then we will discuss some ways that these habits were formed. And finally, we'll look at some tips and see how we can become more courteous on phone users. First, let's examine some of the habits that we created. The journal states that there are 3 places of wrong: always wrong, never wrong, and sometimes wrong. Always wrong are going to be places like funerals, churches, movie theaters, libraries, places that it can be a distraction for other people to have lights or sound. If you're going to answer your phone, if you're going to make a phone call, your phone is going to ring on a loud song. Anything that can be a distraction is always a wrong place. Never wrong is places like your own home, places that you feel comfortable with, that you're not going to distract anyone. Whether you have your phone off, on, or you're using it, it's not going to be a distraction for anyone. And then there's sometimes wrong. Sometimes wrong is going to be the places like work or school, where it could be used to be functional, to be used to send emails, check accounts, everything like that, or it could be used in the wrong sense to cheat on tests or to text message the girlfriend during work.
I think that our parents would finally realize the white coating in the bottom of the video game.
There are also a lot of places like driving that you should not be texting. There are 3 different states that have made it illegal to use your phone, even with a phoneless device. And those are New Jersey, New York, and Texas. Now that we have examined some of the habits, we will now move on to discussing some phrases that we created them. There are 4 ideas on how we create these habits. One of them is avoiding contact with others. When we feel uncomfortable, we automatically pull out our phones. If we don't feel socially accepted or ostracized by other people, we want to find people that we connect with. So we go on Facebook or we text people, making us feel a little bit more comfortable wherever we are. Another theory is that we want to feel like we are popular to other people. Same scenario, we go into a group of people that we might not know. Instead of wanting to feel ostracized or trying to feel like you're not a part of them, you pull it out so that you can feel like you do have other people on your side. That way, even if there's somebody in there that everyone knows, you can feel known as well. A third theory is becoming more connected. At a party or at a social event, pulling out your cell phone to get connections, to get phone numbers, to become friends on Facebook is always a really awesome idea. It helps you to network better, but at the same time, those habits are created and we pull out our phones just as easily. The 4th one is blamed on our parents. In March 2015 issue of Parents and School Years, they state that our habits influence the habits of our children. And because of this, our children are becoming bad cell phone users as well. Picking up our phones to answer them for our jobs at work, making phone calls, texting at the dinner table, all of these are passed down to our children and have been passed to us by our
Say, for
parents.
instance, an action required.
Now that I've discussed some of the forms of the habit, I will now discuss some tips
Did not let
to
up
become better
until actually
cell
17
phone
inches
users.
of rain fell.
In the April 24,
Well, the rain
2006 Fort
continued.
Worth Press,
Instead of an all-day
they gave
record,
us two
9
items.
inches of rain fell in one day.
First, excusing yourself. If you have a car and need to make a call, excusing yourself to the table is never a problem. It actually helps to relieve distraction.
By the storm.
They also said to me when in doubt, you're in a situation that you don't know if it's necessary for you to turn off your phone or if it's the ringer on your phone, always turn it off. I would much rather it be that way than have it be embarrassing and have to
Numerous deaths occurred.
In the January
$2
14,
billion
2011 issue of the United Business Review,
And the most unusual
they
part of it all
suggested
was
that if the
it
lights are
happened in the
low
fall.
or dim, that you
And
should have your
people
phone
say it's a
off.
direct result
If
of
a
climate
light
change.
will distract people, such as a movie theater, a playhouse, a concert,
Some
and
stories
a
go,
resort,
people
you
say
should have your phone off so that you
oceans,
can avoid distraction.
the 100-year flood.
Today we've explored the lack of cell phone etiquette and learned some tips on how to become more courteous cell phone users. First,
Today
we
we'll clarify
examined
some
the different
misconceptions
types
about
of
climate
cell phone habits.
change. First,
Then
I'll
we
explore
discussed some of the ways that we form these habits.
unexpected
And finally, we learned some tips on how we can improve our habits.
And then I'll propose
Improving our
ways
cell
to deal
phone
with
etiquette improves both our work ethic and some of our relationships. And that really is something to tweet about.
it. Yeah, it's a great deal to do with climate change. According to the American Americans, about 9,000 years ago, we started to clear trees down to plant crops.
Okay.
And we all know what happened during the Delaware and a major drought.
No comments. I know.
About $2 billion of damage to the area. And the most unusual part of all is happening in the fall.
After a long day at work on Friday, Tammy Silverman wanted to go and hang out with her friends at a restaurant.
As the stories
After
go,
greeting
the
her friend, the host took them to
stories
their
about
table.
they say people.
The girls all noticed that table after table that they were passing, there were young couples, young families, old couples, co-workers, and teammates, all joining together to eat.
In USA Today,
The
July
difference
16,
was, at
2006,
every single table, there was at least one person with their phone out or in their hand. They were checking tweets,
water
Instagram, text messages, emails,
more
everything.
water that falls.
When the girls got to their table, they all put their phones face down on the table in a pile. With the rule being the first person to check their phones will pay the
Clarify some
table.
misconceptions about sleep.
The girls all
First,
noticed,
explore.
much like many Americans nowadays, that our use of cell phones and our cell phone
Then I'll
etiquette
cover some
is very, very
misconceptions
lacking.
about
In the
climate
January
change.
2007 International Journal of Consumer Studies, it states that 57% of restaurant goers are annoyed by the fact that cell phones are constantly being used.
That's called porn.
Gotcha! What did I do there? Oh, I got it, we got this.
According to March 20th,
Today we will explore the lack of cell phone etiquette and find ways to be more courteous cell phone users. First, we will examine some of the reasons that we First, we will examine some of the habits that we have formed. Then, we will discuss some of the reasons that we form these habits. And finally, we will find some ways to become more courteous cell phone users. First, we will examine some of the reasons that we have, some of the habits that we have gained. The journal states that there are 3 places of wrongness to use your cell
Because of
phone.
the unexpected influence,
Never wrong, always wrong, and sometimes wrong. The places that are always wrong are going to be places like libraries, movie theaters, funeral homes, churches, places that distractions are definitely not allowed. If your phone is going to go off, have an annoying ringtone, ping, if you're texting, if you're making noise, anything, even the light on your phone can be considered a distraction for people who are in mourning or in deep concentration. The next place of wrongness is always okay, never wrong. Places like your own house, Places that aren't going to be a distraction for anybody, that you feel comfortable using your cell phone. Then there's sometimes wrong. These include places such as at work, at school, or even driving in your car. At work or school, sometimes it's absolutely okay to be using your phone if you're at your desk or you're on your personal time. If you're looking things up, either emailing a client or doing other work. Sometimes it's very wrong if you're text messaging your friends, sending out personal calls, or being on Instagram or Twitter. In your car, it's been found that it's very, very distracting to be on your phone, either text messaging or sending a phone call. There are 10 states that have made it illegal to use your cell phone, at least partially with a hands-free device. Now that we've examined some of these habits, we'll discuss some of the reasons that they've been formed. There are 4 ideas on how we gain these habits. First, avoiding contact with other people. When you go into a group and you feel ostracized, you're looking for a form of comfort. Sometimes that comfort is to pull out your cell phone and find people that make you feel comfortable. Next, there's trying to connect with people. You go into a group of people and don't want to feel ostracized, so you pull out your phone and again connect to people who make you feel comfortable and confident enough to go and talk to people in this new group. Finally, the third is a way to become more connected. At parties or social events, having your phone out to obtain cell phone numbers, take pictures, everything like that is absolutely appropriate. But sometimes we gain those habits and take those to inappropriate places. Finally, in the March 2013 issue of Parenting School Leaders, they stated that it could be our parents' fault. The fact that when we are at the dinner table and we're text messaging or excusing ourselves to take a phone call with us, that gets passed down to our children, and they then pass it down to their children. Our cell phone etiquette is because of our parents' cell phone etiquette. Having discussed some of the forms that we've created these habits, I will now move on to suggesting some tips on how to become more free of self-use. In the April 24th, 2006 Fort Worth Press, they suggest 2 different things. First, excusing yourself to make or take a call. It always makes it appropriate and allows everybody else to be distracted at the table or at the conference that you're at. Second, they suggest that if you're in doubt, that way, if you don't know if it's acceptable to have your ringer on, you're not going to be embarrassed if you find out it's not acceptable and your phone goes off. In the January 14, 2011 issue of New Hampshire Business Review, they suggest that if the lights are out or dim, your phone should be off. In movie theaters, concert halls, playhouses. If the lights are dim and the light from your phone is something so simple it's going to cause a distraction, it should be completely off, to cause you to remain focused and allow others to do focus as well. Today we've explored the lack of cell phone etiquette and ways to become more courteous cell phone users. First, we examined some of the habits we formed, then we discussed some of the reasons that we formed these habits, and finally we learned some of the tips on how to become more courteous cell phone users. Knowing cell phone etiquette really will help with work ethic as well as in your relationships, and that's really something to tweet about.
I know, I love that. Something to tweet about.
That was a lot of tweets on that one.
Yeah, I read it too.
I
don't have one for you.
That's right, you do.
That'd be kind of hard.
April 6th,